Okay, welcome to Dendara Temple near the city of Luxor in Egypt. And this is mainly a dynastic construction, not a lot of megalithic, but there is a little bit of megalithic we'll be able to see. I'm simply documenting every site as we go because that's what you people want to see, is you want to see, I suppose, more content from me. So here we go. There's the Sphinx, badly damaged. And one thing that's unique about this location is when we look up, and if you can see the scarab there in the middle, it's a scarab with wings open, which is rare, theoretically. Morning. Morning.
Good morning.
And all the construction here is mainly in sandstone material, except curiously, this threshold is a giant slab of granite. So that shows us a pre-dynastic element, because the dynastic people, as you probably already know, did not work well or efficiently with granite, especially on a scale like this. So there is a pre-dynastic megalithic foundation to the temple, but I would say 99% of its construction is dynastic. And then these large objects are made of the Aswan granite from southern Egypt. You can see all of the artistry carved into the surface. That would be from the dynastic period, but it's likely the objects themselves are much, much older, and they were recycled from the pre-dynastic time frame. Especially an object like this, you can see, which is badly broken. You see some rough hieroglyphics carved on the surface, but the object itself is probably from a much older pre-dynastic megalithic construction. And then limestone objects like this, which would be from the dynastic time period. Now approaching the main temple here, and you see those are the faces of the goddess Hathor, which have been defaced over the course of time. By whom, I don't know. But when we go inside, you'll see the same phenomenon. Columns with the face of Hathor on them. But we will see some very impressive cleaning that's been done to the ceiling and possibly some of the columns in very recent years, which bring this ancient complex back to life. And here again is another threshold, and this once again is a massive slab of granite brought from originally the Aswan quarry. Estimated weight at least 10, if not 20 tons. Like, once again showing evidence of an older megalithic construction. I'm not going to say much here, just enjoy the beauty and the serenity of this very complex construction from the dynastic time period.
So what this tells you is the face is the face of form, of physical perception, and this body of newt is Hathor's hair. And it is the omega symbol. And that omega symbol represents the womb that gives birth to the seed of form. Okay? And as she gives birth, you see the face? The face is on the symbol of, look, it's a shrine. And the shrine has black and gray squares on this side, and it has white and very light gray squares on this side, almost blue. This shrine represents, if you've ever heard of the pillars of Boaz and Joachim, this is it. It's duality. We are born into duality, right? The two sides of self. And so this is also known as the symbol of Rastao. And if you've ever heard of Rastao, that is the place of Osiris. They call the Giza Plateau Rastao. It's an interdimensional gateway. It's why I'm pointing it out here, because we are born from the heavens into form on earth. So, okay, yes, exactly.
So the ceiling, once again, very beautiful now, but recently cleaned because it was covered in thick soot from fires over the course of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of occupation after the time, most likely, of the dynastic Egyptians, maybe through the Christian era and into the Islamic era. So profoundly beautiful now, but pretty messy about 10 years ago when I first came here. And these marks are very curious. You see these indentations in the columns. That is where worshipers would come, and they would scrape a little bit of the sandstone from the surface and put it into their bread and bake it actually into the bread. And in that way, they were ingesting their prayers. So that's probably something few people talk about. But that is what this is. It's not natural erosion or cataclysmic damage or anything like that. It's simply that the prayerful would do that, quite possibly in dynastic times and or possibly from later civilizations. So a little thing to point out in this room is that the lower sections of the columns are granite, and the upper sections are sandstone. And sandstone and limestone are what the dynastic people would work with. So this gives us evidence in this room that there was an older megalithic construction here that the material was recycled by the dynastic people. So they would break, this would originally probably have been a solid column of granite going all the way up, one piece. But the dynastic people couldn't work on that scale, so they had to break the columns into sections, and then move section and put another piece on top and on top and on top and on top and on top, which we'll see at many other locations as we explore Egypt here in October of 2021. So again, in the same room, just showing you that the lower sections are the granite, also with no hieroglyphics. And then as you go up into the sandstone, there you have the sandstone sections with hieroglyphics all over the place.